Did you know that you could use equity in one house, including your own place that you stay in, to go ahead and purchase multiple properties because you could use that as a deposit? Now, most people don't know this. And for those that do know this, don't actually know how it works. So in this video, I'm going to share with you exactly how you can use equity from one home to go and use as multiple deposits to build up that property portfolio even faster. So if you're interested in my whiteboard and what my thoughts are, then definitely keep watching. Hey guys, my name's Ravi and welcome back to Personal Finance with Ravi Sharma. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button because I talk about real estate, cryptocurrency, and financial freedom. Now, the whole idea with growing a property portfolio is how do I get the maximum return on my investment or on my cash? So if I use $1, how do I maximize the return on that single dollar? And one of the ways is to go out and use it in property. So you go out, put $1 in, and hopefully you get $8 or $9 back to purchase the property. And what you expect is the real estate to go up in price, and then you would build equity to then use that to purchase again. But effectively, you only used $1. So I'm gonna share with you exactly how that works in a second. Now, the normal way that we've all been taught to buy property is a 20% deposit and an 80% loan. And so that would then get us this lovely home in a nice suburb. So let's look at an example of a 450K house. For the purpose of this video, we're focusing on an investment property because that's what we specialize in at Search Property. So if you're interested in building your wealth in real estate and doing it with speed, with expertise and data without you having to do it, then definitely click on the link in the description below that goes straight to my website. For a $450,000 home, a 20% deposit would be $90,000. The costs would work out to be about $20,000, and that would mean about $110,000 that you would need in this example being a 20% deposit. Now you might look at your bank account and go, I don't have $110,000. That also means I can't buy a $450,000 home. That's why we need to look at alternative solutions because this is the old way of doing things. Looking at this reminds me of people that would prefer to walk when they actually have a car. Now, apart from the health benefits, you're looking at time being your biggest asset. Of course, you're gonna drive there and it's gonna be faster than you walking 35 kilometers. So back to the video, let's stick to the numbers. Now, how would you go about buying 5 properties? You would go option 1, I simply go out and save $550,000 and buy 5 properties. Yeah, $500,000. Good luck. Or we can use equity. And I'm going to show you exactly what that means. Now, option 1 is that in year 1, you go and save $110,000. You'll buy one of these properties at an average growth rate, say of 7%. Now, in year 4, what you would do is save $125,000 and you would buy your second property, which is basically repeating the process every couple of years. Now, you would be looking at properties and the lowest you can find a property is about $500,000. So you can see in this option, being option 1, save and then do it again, save and do it again, 1, you would live a very frugal life because $110,000 to be saving that amount of money is no easy task. So in this case, that would then slow down your entire process and it might take you like 10 years only to purchase 3 or 4 properties. If we look at the alternative solution, which is using equity, I'm going to show you exactly how you could do this process a lot faster. Now in this example, you go ahead and save a $75,000 deposit, which would account for your deposit as well as some extra fees because you're using a 10% deposit instead of a 20% deposit. You go ahead, purchase your first property for $450,000. Now, 9 to 12 months later, if you have bought well, and we do this all the time with clients, you will be in a position where you just need to save now $30,000 and the rest of it is coming from the first property. So you may have enough to be able to purchase another property for $450,000 within the same year. So in this case, we only need the deposit for one house. And then once that house has been purchased and it's growing in value, plus I'm actively saving my money, within a 12-month period, my asset base could be worth up to $900,000. Now what we do is we repeat the process. And this is very powerful. And I'm going to show you exactly how you can leverage this to go and build out a property portfolio, but first on the video sponsor. Now today's video sponsor is NordVPN. If you're not using a VPN in 2024, you're doing something wrong. Now a VPN is a virtual private network. Effectively means you're using a secure network to go and access the internet or do whatever you do on the internet. But here are a couple of benefits for using NordVPN. And shortly I'm going to share with you some real cool benefits that you can take advantage of right away. Now by using NordVPN, it is so much safer to browse the internet and do what you need to with a single click. When you go ahead and you're traveling and you want to find out what the best content is, then you can go and do that as well, or you can do it from your own home. Because I don't know about you, but if you're like me, I get so annoyed when I see an article come up and says, hey, this new show is available on Netflix, only to realize it's Netflix like overseas, and I can watch it here while I'm at home. But in addition to me just being able to go and binge all these shows, it is also very safe and it protects you from all of these scams and scammy links as well. As we know, there's so many scams going out there and use suspicious links as well, and that's why these things can really protect you. So if you're like me and you like traveling, I mean, who doesn't like traveling, then something like this could help you be protected while you're overseas, and protection is very important. And while I advocate to go out there and build up your side hustle income, it's important that you take some time away and relax. So for me, it's watching Netflix, and I love a good psychological thriller because it gets me involved. Then you'll definitely want something like NordVPN. Now, by using my link in the description below, which you'll see on the screen right now as well, you'll get a few benefits, and I strongly urge you to act on these quickly. Now, from Feb 7th to March 20th, NordVPN's having a birthday campaign. So by signing up to a 2-year subscription with NordVPN, you could earn yourself an Uber Eats voucher up to $30. Now, in addition to that, if you do use the link below and you sign up for 2 years, you'll get 4 months free. So that to me is like return on investment straight away and a 30-day money back guarantee. So if you don't like it, you can be like, okay, I'm out. So again, if you use the internet, which you are because you're watching this, then definitely get something like NordVPN. Thank you so much, NordVPN, for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to the numbers. So if we use option 2, we can go ahead and buy 2 properties in year 1. Now, how does this actually work? If you look at this 450K property, a 10% deposit is 45K. You've got costs of about 30K, which include the buyer's agency fee. It comes to about $75,000. Now your loan here is $405,000 because it's at 90% LVR. Now, if I use the search property buyer's agency, I'm probably picking this up about 12 to 15K under market value. Now, again, it depends how heated that market is. If you're buying stuff in Perth at the moment, it is so hard to even buy a property. That's why we're buying a lot off market in those areas. But average growth of about 12 to 13%. After about 12 months, that property is worth about $56,000 more than when you purchased it. So you can see that next deposit is so much easier to get to because the equity in that first property is allowing you to get that next deposit. Again, the beauty of this video is that you can just rewind the video, pause it if it doesn't make sense. That's why we have the whiteboard. Now, if you look at usable equity versus equity, this is a very clear distinction you need to make. Most people think it's just the new value minus the old value and that's what I can use. But unfortunately, the bank doesn't give you a 100% loan on that. What you would look at is a 90% loan. Let me explain. So the new value of the property is about $517,000. The loan is $405,000 that we got out initially. And now the LVR position is about 78%. So if we wanted to go in, top up our loan, or go and refinance that to another bank, we could go and get it at 90%. So what we would do is the new value times 90% equals this number, which is going to be the new loan. So now what you can do is the new loan minus the old loan, and that would be $61,194. The required funds to buy another property would be $75,000. And in this case, we're getting $61,000 straight from the equity. And that would mean that we only need $13,805 from our pocket. A lot easier to do than to have to save another $75,000. So in 12 months with option 1, we have a property that's worth $481,500. We only have one property. Now, the total outlay is $110,000 and the growth is about $33,705. If we go with option 2, we're probably in a position where we own 2 properties worth a total of about $967,000. Our total cash outlay is only $88,805. That's the cash that we've saved up ourselves. And if you've got a growth rate of about 12%, which is what we averaged while the market was going down and rates were going up at search property, then you would be in a position where you're looking at $117,320 as the return. So if you go and compare option 1, which is what most people will do, versus option 2, you're going out and getting a 3.48x. So almost 3.5 times greater return than most people. And this is how a lot of people go out and build their own property portfolio to like 5, 10, 15 properties. It's the exact same strategy I use for my properties and to build out my portfolio. Now I'm in a position where the entire base is so big that every year it just churns out so much equity. I could use that to go and buy another 4, 5, or 6 properties and not put a single dollar from my own pocket. Of course, you've got to have the borrowing capacity to be able to do this. And that's why it's very important you get the right team around you. One, you need a property that's actually going to grow, because if you get a dud, it's not going to grow, then this can't work. And two, you need a mortgage broker that can actually go and execute this with you. So if you need a hand with any of this, use the link in the description below, book in a free discovery call with our team. We'll be able to help you. And again, if you are going and using the internet, which you should be in 2024, then definitely go use my link in the description below as well as the pinned comment so you can get those fantastic benefits with NordVPN. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks guys.